Lauren, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, how are you?
Sorry, rushing from one of the parent sessions to try to
It's
get.
okay. It's all right. How
There's
are
not enough
you?
time. Not enough time.
It's all good. It's
Yeah,
all
how
good.
are you?
I'm well. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Happy
Good,
to be alive.
good, good. So I'm gonna put in chat. So far, we only have one person who's in our waiting room, waiting to
Okay.
jump. So I'm just gonna put in a little welcome in chat, and then I'm just gonna give it maybe just 1 minute or two. I know
Yeah.
we're running behind schedule, just if others join, and then I'll open up the waiting room.
Okay.
And I'm just going to turn it over directly to you. I'll just introduce you,
Okay.
and then you can get started. And I'm not
All
sure if
right.
you want to, if you're just giving them an overview and then taking questions, etc.
Yeah, so I have a little quick PowerPoint that I put together.
You need me to share to
Yes.
make you co-host. I will do that.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
All right. So I am going to make you host. Yes. So that should allow you to actually share your screen.
Yes.
Okay,
I
perfect.
can go ahead and do that now.
And Lauren, just your official title is so that I'm not going to give much background, but just want to give them your role at the school.
Sure. So my
On the school.
role,
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
There it is. It's on the slide. Okay, perfect.
Yes, it's a very long title. Independent schools are known for their
Yes.
long titles.
How long have you been in that role?
So this is my first year at the school.
Oh,
But this
congratulations.
is thank you. I'm just wrapping up year one. But I'm actually have been in the admissions enrollment profession for just wrapping up 12 years.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
All right. So let me let people in.
All right.
Um, well, I thought we had another person waiting, but now I don't see them.
Oh,
Okay. Are you originally from down south, from Virginia area, or how did you end up um, at in Virginia?
yeah. Good question. So was born in DC,
Oh, okay.
and lived in Northern Virginia till I was about 4 years old,
Okay.
and moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
Uh, there from 4 to 14, and then um, moved to Silver Spring, so Montgomery County, Maryland. So I
Okay.
was there for high school. From there, graduated from Towson University in Baltimore, um,
Hmm.
and then have my master's in social work from school in Miami, Florida,
Oh,
Barry
okay.
University. No, actually, I went to the Barry School for high school, but there's no affiliation.
Oh, okay.
And with my role in admissions, I started my role at my alma mater, but then had the opportunity to move to Massachusetts, so New England. So I actually lived there twice.
Okay.
For first time 3 years, and then the last time I was there, I was only there for 1 year.
Okay.
So I've worked at 7 schools,
Well,
4 boarding schools, 2 day schools. So I've experienced from both the pre-K 3 to grade 12. Um, First time working at an all-girls school. All my other schools I've worked at were co-ed.
interesting.
And yeah, so I've held every position that you can think of in the admissions office, from admission administrative assistant slash receptionist to director of admission and financial aid to my role now.
That's
So,
that's very nice in many ways because you have
mm-hmm,
to, you're bringing that lens and you can kind of see the integration of the work as opposed to just one part of,
exactly,
yeah. So,
exactly,
Laura, let me
exactly.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
In your view of chat, when you can see chat, do you see any? I'm wondering if when I made you the host, do you see anybody waiting? Like, does it say admit room or?
Yes, I do. I see one person, Joy.
Okay,
You want
so
me to admit her?
please, and then we'll get started because
Okay.
I made you host. I wasn't able to. I could still see chat, but
Okay.
I wasn't
I'll
able
go
to.
ahead. I'll
Yeah.
go ahead and admit her.
Yep. Perfect.
All right.
Okay. All right. Hi, Joy. I know
Hi,
you're
Joy.
muted.
Hi,
Hi. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. So I'm Maria Underwood. I'm just going to be sort of managing the chat and more of a tech support for Lauren Lewis, who's our Director of Diversity and Inclusion and Senior Associate Director of Enrollment at Foxcroft School. And you probably can see her screen and her presentation, I'm assuming. Yes?
Yes, I can. I'm just trying
Okay,
to convince my
perfect.
middle schooler to watch this with me.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
okay.
Yeah,
Great.
great
Great.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yes. How old?
She's 12,
Okay. Great.
so
Perfect
we're
time.
going into 7th grade.
Perfect time. Perfect time.
So why don't we get started? We're a pretty small group, Lauren, so you can feel free to unmute yourself and at any point jump in. Or as I said, I'm going to be monitoring chat. So if you want to just put comments or questions you have in chat, and then I can pass those on to, to Lauren as she goes through the presentation.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Maria. So again, Joy, my name is Lauren Lewis. I am the Director of Diversity and Inclusion and Senior Associate Director of Enrollment and Financial Aid. I was just joking with Maria earlier that independent schools are well known for their long titles. So I have the beauty of doing both roles. This is my first year at the school. But I have been in the independent school sector for 12 years now. I've worked at 7 schools, 5 boarding schools, and 2 day schools. So I have some experience with the PK3, or actually, I'm sorry, as young as 2 years old to 12th grade. But I just love working with adolescents. So I'm so happy to be here at the school. So we'll go ahead and get started. So basically, I want to show you these buildings. So on the left side, you can really see our gym. And then also in this building to the left-hand side, so that's our gym, as well as our hangout room for our girls. We call that room roomies. So that big space, along with our tennis courts, you'll also see dorms as well. And on the right side, you actually see a clear picture of schoolhouse. And I'll talk a little bit about both buildings. Schoolhouse is our main academic building on campus. And actually behind schoolhouse is a track that you'll see that's considered big track, and that is primarily used by our riders. We do have riding on campus. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so here's some quick facts. All right, so our mission is to help every girl explore her unique voice and develop the skills, confidence, and courage to share it with the world. We're really big on mission, and I definitely would encourage you when you go through and speak to schools and to ask them about their mission. And here is our mission here. So we do serve grades 9th through 12th grade. We also have a postgraduate year. Typically, when our girls start, they do graduate and they move on to the college process. With postgraduates, those are girls that are coming from other schools and they're looking just for another year before they go off to college. And we are located in Middleburg, Virginia, so we're about 43 miles outside of the District of Columbia. Our closest airport is actually Washington Dulles. I'm not sure exactly where you are. I'm not sure if you're in New York or New Jersey, but we are, go ahead.
We're in Manhattan.
Okay, you're in Manhattan. So it's about, I would say about a 3.5 hour drive from you. Straight down 95. So very, very easy. We serve 175 girls, and from there, it's we're serving girls from 24 states and 12 countries. So that also includes the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Ghana. We have a young lady that's coming from us from Lithuania, Germany, just to name a few countries. With that being said, we have a higher population of boarding students versus day. So the breakdown is about 73% to 27%. And our values are very important to us. So we actually have, I highlighted our mission and our values of respect, integrity, service, and kindness. And I really highlighted this because we actually, students actually came up with these values with our head of school that started about she actually started going into her 7th year in the fall. And when she began her headship, she wanted this value proposition. And she actually met with a group of girls and they came up with these 4 values. As you may know, especially when you go into looking into independent schools, especially all girls schools, there are lots of traditions. One tradition I will highlight is what we call Foxhound. So I'm not sure if your daughter is familiar with Harry Potter, but it's kind of similar to that, where it's the student is chosen into a house, but for us, you're either a fox or a hound. And that includes everyone that is at Foxcroft, including myself. So I'm actually a fox. Foxes have different colors, so we're blue, pink, and silver, with the foxes are about orange and brown and green with those colors. Girls are chosen in the beginning of the year of where they belong. And there are 3 competitions, friendly competitions throughout the year. That is field hockey, basketball in the winter, and riding. The reason why we have that tradition is our founding head of school, Charlotte Nolan, felt that it was really important for the girls to have something to do during the Thanksgiving holiday, because I believe it was during World War I. Our girls were unable to leave campus. So she felt that it was best for us to have some type of tradition, have the girls engage, and we've continued on with that tradition. All right, so this actually gives you a really close glimpse of Schoolhouse. But before I go into residential life, any questions?
No.
Okay, great. So I like to start off with residential life. Typically, a lot of folks really want to know about, academics and athletics, and I'll get to that. But with residential life, especially with boarding schools, you really want to know what you're getting yourself into when it comes to residential life. So one of the promises that we highlight at Foxcroft is a community of understanding hearts. So at Foxcroft, every girl is known and valued. They experience long-lasting friendships. They are in an inclusive and welcoming community, and they receive support from dedicated faculty, staff, and their peers. I highlighted that leadership is everywhere because that is the case. Our leaders are coming from freshman year all the way up to their senior year. So whether that be leaders in the classroom, outside the classroom, clubs and groups, Foxhound traditions, athletic events, our girls are leaders. Let's go down to community life. I highlight diversity and inclusion, not just because of my role, because they've actually started and were doing diversity and inclusion prior to my arrival. So again, this is my first year at the school, first year as a director of D&I, but there was a committee full of faculty, and they were doing the work with the students, and will and have continued to do the work. One particular area I like to highlight is the courageous conversations. There are a few courageous conversations. One part is in the dorm, and within those conversations, there are lots of different topics that our girls talk about. But within this committee, this is actually through our advancement office, and they are alumni, and they came together because they felt that it was a strong need for their presence to be within the community. So every year in April, there is a courageous conversation during alumni weekend, and our girls are actually invited into that conversation, and they're hearing from alumni that came through Foxcroft through a variety of different topics. This year, obviously, with COVID-19, we had to pivot, and we actually postponed the courageous conversations to 2021. But with that being said, we felt that it was very important for us to continue on with that tradition of courageous conversations, but move it to virtually, so a virtual platform. So this year's theme was about mental health and how we can be able to have the ability to accept the changes, and how we can be able to deal with COVID-19 or any other obstacles that come our way. It was actually a nice dovetail because you may know that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And then also it is Asian and Pacific Islander Month too. So it was a nice dovetail to talk about those conversations. With that being said, community service is really big in our community. There actually is opportunities or are opportunities during the week and also on the weekend, whether our girls are giving back locally, regionally, and also globally. Morning meeting is actually held 3 times a week, typically held in our library. And this is a time where all of us gather together as a community. And it's led by students. It's led by our girls. Our student vice head of school actually opens up with the meeting. And there are announcements, whether that be like, oh, there's a game that's going to be this weekend, or come to Poetry Slam, on Thursday night. So that's a great time for us for the community to get together. Since we've had to move to the continuous learning virtually, we were able to incorporate morning meeting virtually and on the platform of Zoom. Advisory, again, with the support between faculty and staff, every student has an advisory. And actually for our freshmen in particular, they have their own specific advisor, and then it changes once they become sophomores, because we understand that the needs of a freshman is very different from the needs of going to like sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. Typically advisory meets once a week, but the student can be able to tap into her advisor anytime that she sees fit. Clubs and groups, we do offer clubs and groups here. These are examples. We have the Black Student Union. Hand in Hand is a group dedicated to the LGBTQ community. We also have Model UN, just to name a few of the clubs and groups that we do offer. If there's a club or group that's not there, then our girls have the ability to start it, just as long as they have an advisor, a faculty advisor. Weekend activities, I touched upon that. Obviously, the academics are important. Athletics are important because we want our girls to be moving and to be active, but it's also nice to kind of have some downtime as well. So we offer a variety of different weekend activities for our girls, whether that be going into DC, whether that be going into town just to grab some groceries, or sometimes our girls just want to be able to relax, so they have that opportunity to do that as well. And of course, with the dining hall, because that is very important, our girls are fed well in our dining hall. So we offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the weekdays, and brunch and dinner on the weekends. A lot of times the dining hall, that's the time where the entire community gathers for meals, and then also to celebrate different celebrations. As far as with the sleeping porches, we are very unique with this in terms of with the residential life. So we have 5 dorms on campus. We have 1 dorm catered to our freshmen, and we have 1 dorm catered to our seniors. And the other 3 are mixed level, that's sophomores and juniors. With our sleeping porches, Charlotte Nolan felt that it was very important to separate the study and social space from the sleep space. So if you kind of can think about camp, right? And you're kind of like bunked out with your friends, and it's kind of like that. And this actually was my first year really seeing it. And I think that you have to see it in person. There are pictures on our website where that can be able to show you the sleeping porches. And actually we created a video for open house, and I'm happy to share that with you. But that way you can kind of get a sense of what sleeping porches are. But our girls value it. If the girl, like say for instance, if because you have a roommate, like your daughter will have a roommate if she enrolls at our school. But if for some reason she's tired, then she can be able to go to sleep. She's not disturbing her friends. She's not disturbing other people that are in that social space. Also, it nurtures healthy mind, and it's supposed to be healthy body. So as far as with it's technology free zone, so you can't have a phone, you can have an alarm clock there, but you can't bring your phone to the sleeping porches. Also, the wellness program is integrated in that program in terms of with our residential life as well. Any questions about community life?
No.
Okay. All right, moving on to academics. What you see is our ceramics class. All right, so the Girls Advantage. We teach the way that girls learn best. We have 76 courses, 16 APs total in 6 disciplines. We also have an opportunity for independent studies as well. What makes us unique is that we have 2 programs that I want to highlight. One is our academic concentration programs. We do offer STEM. It's very big, a very big component that we want to emphasize. And our girls, after the first year, they can be able to apply to 4 different areas where they can be able to focus on their time at Foxcroft. Obviously, you will have to complete, your graduation requirements, but if you want to be able to focus on these 4 areas, you can be able to do so. So these 4 areas are STEM, global studies, animal science, and arts. And with the arts, that includes both visual and performing. Our exceptional proficiency program, which is the EPP. This gives an opportunity for girls to be able to explore a variety of different platforms that they probably won't be able to get at Foxcroft. So in past years, there have been girls that are exceptional with writing, and they want to be able to continue that. Some girls have an exceptional proficiency when it comes to ice skating, or any other sport or any other activity that you can be able to do. We provide that platform for our girls, but then we're also giving them that Foxcroft experience. And I also highlight the college counseling process because we are a college preparatory school. And with the first 5 choice colleges approach, our director of college counseling really feels strongly about this. And our girls are actually able to kind of pinpoint 5 colleges, one that they can really see themselves in, but then also understanding that it is their process and not the parents' process. Now, not to say that, parents don't have a say in, financial costs and all that other stuff, but at the end of the day, we understand that the college process is the student's choice, and the students going through that process. So our girls tend to get into one of their first 5 choice colleges, and that approach has definitely worked. All right. The other thing that I want to highlight is Winter Mission. This is an opportunity for our girls to kind of learn outside of the classroom. This week is typically the first week in February, and it's led by our faculty members. And the girls have to sign up, and it's basically a full week of activities, whether that be going to the Amazon. We went to the Amazon in February, or going to NASA, to the headquarters in Alabama, or doing some making your own instruments, or creating your own songwriting. So anyway, there's lots of different activities that you can be able to do when it comes to the Winter Mission. And those offerings typically come out in the fall, and girls can be able to choose from those offerings. All right, any questions about academics?
I did have a question about the EPP.
Sure.
Is that included as part of the tuition, or is that separate?
That's a good question. It is separate. So typically, I can get to the application process. Typically, when you go through the application process, you're accepted, you're enrolled. With the EP program, it is a separate cost. Yes. So typically, if you do apply for financial aid, then the financial aid typically just covers tuition. But those additional costs, that includes the EP program, that includes actually the technology fee is actually woven within the tuition, like weekend activities, other fees like that.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's move on to athletics and wellness. As you can tell, this is from volleyball, so we do offer volleyball. Our motto is a healthy mind and a healthy body, and we offer athletics and extracurricular activities here. We understand that physical activity is a critical point to development, teamwork, and dedication. So we offer a variety of different opportunities for students to be involved. Typically, those activities are done after school. So we offer volleyball, tennis, indoor and outdoor. We offer field hockey, lacrosse, rock climbing, track, softball, lacrosse, dance, yoga, and writing, just to name a few activities that we offer. Our fitness center, our equipment is actually tailored to girls, which is great. We have 2 gyms, like I mentioned. We have rock climbing and indoor track. And I added the weekend activities here because we do have athletic events on the weekends, like, so for instance, like our Foxcroft Traditions, or during Parents Weekend, then we'll have games on the weekends as well. And we do have a brother school. Our brother school is Woodbury Forest. And sometimes they may have some athletic events, and we'll take girls to the athletic events there. All right. Any questions about the athletics program?
No.
Okay. All right. So if you are interested, these are the requirements when it comes to applying. You can visit us at foxcroft.org. You can be able to submit an inquiry form, and we can be able to send you out some information. The video that I mentioned, that you can be able to see more pictures and more footage of our campus, I can be able to send you that. When applying, you can be able to use our own application that's found on our website. SAO, which is the platform where students take the SSAT, or TABS, which is the Association of Boarding Schools. So you have a variety of different ways to apply. There is an interview that's required. Typically it's the student, but I like to speak with the parents as well. If the interview cannot be done in person, then we can be able to set up a virtual interview. Testing, we do accept the SSAT, IC, PSATs, or the SATs. Recommendation letter, we offer or we accept the English and math. If there is another recommendation letter that you want from another teacher, then you can be able to, that teacher can be able to submit that recommendation. That's not a problem. We also require a writing sample, so a graded writing sample, I should say, from a teacher. So a lot of times that writing sample can be shared through Google Docs or any other platform. And then, of course, transcripts, which is typically 2 to 3 years. All right, questions?
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Do you guys have your exhibitions on the website for the maybe 2019 or 2018?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Do you list the colleges that the girls, the graduating class of 2019 or 2018?
Yes.
Do you have those?
Yes. That should be on the website. And if it's not, then I'm happy to give you that information. The lists are just coming, just to rattle off the top of my head. We have a young lady who's going to SCAD in Savannah. That is Savannah Art College and Design of Arts. College and Design, yes. Mm-hmm. We have 2 girls that are going off to the University of Kentucky. We have a girl that is going to the University of Virginia. We have, oh my gosh, I'm trying to
How
think.
big are the classes?
Oh, good question. It's about close to about 50 range. We like to keep the freshman class small, so it's about 35 to about 40 students, and that's why we're able to house them in that one dorm. I will say, in the first month of school, which also makes us unique, is that everybody resides on campus. Obviously, with COVID-19, it's a little bit different. We were in the planning stages and trying to figure that out. But prior to COVID-19, everyone stayed on campus. That included the day students as well, for the first month of school, to build that camaraderie and that community. With that said, with day students staying on campus, they do have a room. They have their own bed. They have their own dresser, their own desk space in the dorm. So again, building that camaraderie and that community when it comes to between the boarding and day students. A lot of times with our boarders, a lot of times they'll go over to their day students, like friends' home, and vice versa. And then also with our international students as well. So yes, but as far as on our website, you have there is a list of colleges.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you know what percentage of the faculty are of color? Well, I would say identify or you would consider Black.
Yep, good question. So it is There are 4 of us that are on campus. So we have about 32 faculty in total. So it's about 4 of us.
Okay.
Myself, because I'm considered faculty, we also have an alumna who teaches history. We have a woman who is the assistant director of athletics, and then we also have a woman that oversees our campus security, and she's also considered, faculty. I will say, in terms of with my role, we have done our job has been intentional when it comes to hiring, and we have hired and still hiring, teachers and faculty that really fit into, that have that DEI lens, that's very important to us. And then also knowing that within the hiring, but then also within the community as well. So continuing on that DEI training when it comes to both the faculty and staff, as well as students too, because it doesn't stop. It's not like a one and done type deal, and we recognize that. So yes, I have.
And what about the girls? What are the students? What percentage of them would I self-identify, or would the average person physically identify them as being Black or of African descent?
Yep, so that's a good question. So for us, it is 18% domestic students of color, 17% international students. The breakdown of that, it's about, we just wrapped up this year. I'm actually focusing on next year. We actually increased the number of students that identify as Black 3 times. So this past year, it was about, I want to say 12 students.
Okay.
It's very difficult to do on the top of my head because we don't break it down in that realm. But I will say our incoming freshman class and just our incoming class for the 2020-2021 school year, we have increased our numbers of diversity racially and ethnically 3 times. So I am overjoyed that is the case.
So do you mean about 30 students?
So I would say as of right now, we have about 35 students that are enrolled, because we're continuing to enroll students until, we probably start school. So out of those 35 students, 10 of our girls are identified as Black.
Oh, that's
or
great.
Of African descent. Yes.
Okay. And then my last question is about the riding.
Yes.
Do most of the girls ride? That's how the school was kind of founded, right?
Yes, because we do have the Foxhound traditions. So yes and no. There are girls that have a various degree level in terms of the interest of riding, whether that be the beginner level or the advanced level. So it just really all depends on the student. So the good thing is that if students want to take a riding lesson during the week, they can be able to do that. They obviously have to be in good academic standing, of course, and they also have to make sure that it's fitted within their schedule. If they want to be a part of the riding team, then that's fine as well. So there's different levels of riding. Is it the end all be all that every girl that comes through our doors enjoys riding? No, that's not the end all be all. There are actually a lot of girls that are like, no, I don't have an interest in writing. I actually have an interest or passion in drama, or I have a passion for STEM, or I have a passion for, languages. So it's not a requirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. This was great.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
So I just would need to go on and fill out something to get more information. And
yes. If you can actually email me right here. This is my direct email, and this is my direct office line. But if you email me, we can be able to have a conversation. I also would recommend, if you have any other conversations or any questions when it comes to boarding schools in general, I'm happy to do so. I'm happy to answer those questions. because a lot of times especially if you're completing an application, a lot of times that information is overlapped to other boarding schools. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have about Foxcroft or just boarding schools in general.
Okay, thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Joy, for joining us and for all those great questions. And Lauren, thank you so
Yes,
much for the presentation.
thank you.
All right, so we're gonna end this session so that way people can get to the next school visit.
Oh, yes. I hope everyone has a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Welcome. Bye.